What is good, people? It's Ramsky here back, and we are starting our second tutorial on JavaScript. And as you can see, I have my JavaScript open here. It's the main.js file from the last video. And I just want to talk about the basically the anatomy of a JavaScript file. So don't worry so much about what this function actually does. I'm just going to discuss the anatomy and the structure and the syntax for this function that we call multiply numbers. So as you can see, we have a statement right here. Each one of these lines is a statement. So we have our variable result equals x times y, and we return the result um, back to the colon file, whatever calls this function. So each one of these lines is a statement, and each statement is terminated by a semicolon. Now the semicolon is not required in JavaScript. It will still run even if we just got rid of it like this. But I recommend that you use a semicolon because other languages that you'll see, they'll actually require you to put the semicolon. So it's a good habit to get into. And we have, um, line breaks. So we have line 2 and line 3 for each statement. So statement 1, statement 2. And this is just for readability. And it makes it a lot easier to read. And you notice this white space over here, it's also for readability. JavaScript does not read white space, but you can see how difficult it gets to read if my JavaScript looked like that. So we include white space, mainly a tab. Tab is my preference. Sometimes you'll see programmers just do 2 spaces, but I don't think that's enough readability. I think it makes it still a little bit difficult to read. And so as a result, basically a JavaScript program is just a list of statements, list of these statements right here. The curly braces, anytime you see curly braces like this, that is a code block. So you'll see them with functions, you'll see them with while loops, you'll see them with if statements. Anytime you see that, those curly braces, it's a code block, and code blocks, what they do is contain a list of statements here. And within our statements, we could include values, expressions, comments, keywords, operators, and all that good stuff that we'll get into in future videos. So here, for example, I have a variable result, and it equals this expression times x times y. And then our next statement returns the result. Return is a keyword, so that's one of the keywords that you'll be learning in future videos as well. And how I name my variables is, by identifying them. When I name them, I'm identifying this variable as result. The rules for naming variables, I believe you can include an underscore in front of it. You can include a $sign, I believe, but it's a lot easier just to name the variable what it actually holds. What is it holding in here? It just becomes a lot easier to associate that variable with a name like result. And when we get into names that have more than 2 words in them, you'll start to see that I'll use a notation called lowercase camel case. So that's like if I had first name, I would name the variable like so. So it would be var first name. So you notice that the F is lowercase, and then when I get to name, I capitalize the N. That is lowercase camel case, lower camel case, not lowercase camel case. The opposite of that would be Pascal case, which is just an uppercase version of camel case, so that would be var first name. You mostly see this type with properties of classes, which we'll get into in JavaScript. But for the sake of this video, we are going to be, for the sake of this tutorial for now, until we get to object-oriented programming, we will use lowercase, lower Pascal case. All right, so that's all I wanted to discuss in this video is basically the structure. In the next video, we will get down into the nitty-gritty of JavaScript and start to look at numbers and expressions. I guess one final thing I should mention is that you'll notice that this is a different color, and that's because I commented out this statement. So in your JavaScript, you can include comments, and we will discuss that in the next video. So if you go ahead and drop a like if you like this video. If you're not subscribed and want to subscribe for future tutorial videos, go ahead and do that. I would very much appreciate it. Also, if you have any questions, go ahead and drop a line down in the comments. We'll see you in the next video.